Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? This is MRGang here. Welcome back to another toy review by yours truly. And today we have yet another Lego review. Since I know for the last couple reviews, we've been a little bit, how do I say this? Out of this world in terms of the stuff we've been looking at. But let's get a little more grounded this time around. Because today we are taking a look at the Lego Technic Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Yeah, and check out this guy. So, this one's been out for a little while now, and I've just now gotten my hands on it. And, oh boy, just like most of the cars I've reviewed in this sort of size scale, this guy is just, quality. So, anyhow, getting the lighting on this guy a little bit there. Taking a look at the box a little bit closer here, we can see, of course, the standard Lego Technic logo up there. And, of course, we do get the Corvette logo up there as well, because this is officially licensed, as you would expect. And, of course, we have the 9+ age range, set 42205, Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Yes, and, of course, in the middle, we do get a nice CG render of the Corvette Stingray, just kind of racing down a oddly sort of desert highway. And of course, you can play as this car, the Asphalt Legends Unite. Yes, this seems to be a sort of sub-theme Technic's been going with. And they're going to do a couple more cars in this Asphalt Legends Unite sort of subline. So, rejoice gamers, I guess. Even though I've only played Asphalt 9 Legends on my Switch. So, maybe it got updated. I have no idea. I haven't played the game in ages. But I might have to try out the game again, just to see how cool this guy is in the game itself. We'll take a look at the side here. Of course, we get a little bit of the Technic logo again. Of course, we get a whole bunch of stats and stuff. And, of course, the Asphalt Legends Unite logo again. Then on the back, we do get a rear view of the car. And, of course, it does this, that, the other. We get a shot of the real-life car, which, again, looks absolutely gorgeous. And you do get some stats and whatnot, which we will get into the lore segment, as I like to do, in a bit here. But on this side, we do have a sort of a side profile view of, or top-down view of the car. Of course, got the Lego Technic logo once again. And if we flip over to the very top, of course, we get the Lego logo once again. And we get a side profile view of the car. And we do get a 1-to-1 scale view of the wheels, in particular the rear wheels. I don't know why not the front, but the rear ones, apparently. Okay. And if we flip around to the bottom, which, oh boy, gotta do a lot of flipping around here. Of course, there's the Lego Technic logo once again. And we do get the Lego apps and a whole bunch of legal jargon. So, with the box out of the way, and with a little change in scenery, let's bring in the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. And here it is. And like I said, this thing is absolutely magnificent. Just Lego has been knocking it out of the park with these sort of smaller scale cars. And this guy is no exception because, I mean, look at this. So, as per usual, we will get started here with the overview by taking a look a little bit closer at the front here, which I will have to scoot that up a little bit. There we go. So starting at the front, we got this very menacing sort of frontal structure here, with, of course, the front splitters. And, well, up here would be a grill, even though there is just a tile there. It's hard to see, but there is a tile hidden in there where the grill should be. Sadly, there is no sticker for it, but that's where the grills would be. And then, of course, on the front, we do get a nicely tattooed Corvette logo, which, of course, is a printed part, one of very few that occur in the set. Everything else, for the most part, is a sticker detail, which is unfortunate, but I understand given the costs and how Lego works. So, taking a look at the stickers here, we do get two on the front for the headlights, which look absolutely gorgeous. And, of course, we do get some very nice shaping for the front hood, which you can open up to reveal some internal structures there. Not a whole lot going on in here outside of just some pins, or whatever case may be, that hold the front together. But it is openable if you so desire. And then, of course, you just rest it back down like that. Just gently clicks into place. And as we turn to the side now, you can see some more detailing. And of course, I'm needing my light here so you guys can see. We do get some very nice sticker details for the vents right here, which are absolutely nice. We do get a little, I believe that is a little lid for the gas, the fuel part. What do you call that? Gas cap. There we go, the gas cap. Oh boy, can you tell this is like early in the morning when I'm recording this? And of course we do have another sticker detail on the door for the vent. But anyhow, and of course, just like most cars in this scale, the door does in fact open up, even though there is some very interesting structural detail going on for the door there. And as we peer into the interior, we can get a little look at the dashboard, which sadly, there's nothing going on this dashboard. Like nothing at all. Of course, you do get some nice detailing for the steering wheel, which is kind of hard to see, but yeah, the steering wheel is there. And of course, you do have a nice detailing going on for the seating arrangement, which, if we zoom in, there is a sticker for the sort of the materials on the inside of the seat. So that is quite nice as well. There we go. So you do get some detail there. And as we gently close the door, which of course these are normal doors, these aren't scissor doors or anything, sadly. We do get some more detail on the back as we turn around to that, which, take a look at the top, we can see some more detail right here for the ventilation on the back. And of course, we do get a sneak peek of the engine, which I will open that up in just a second. But looking more directly at the back, you can see some of the rear diffusers, or at least what are supposed to be the diffusers. And of course, you do have some twin exhausts, or quad exhausts rather. And we get some nice ventilation details. And of course, you do get a little Corvette logo just up here. And we do get a little Corvette bumper sticker as well. So that is very, very nice as well. Oh, and of course, can't forget the little taillights peeking out from behind the panels on the back as well. Now then, to open up the engine, it is very simple. You just take the little lid here, open it up, and you can actually see the V8 engine inside. Now, of course, just like other cars in this scale, it does move when you spin the wheels, which is going to be a little tricky to show here on camera. So I will try to show this as best I can. There we go. So the engine does in fact move, whether you're going forwards or backwards. And if you look directly down, you can see there is a rear differential in the back. Now, that was a pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to be just all-wheel drive in the back here, or just a massive rod that goes through the entire thing. But no, it is in fact a differential, which is nice, because only a few of these cars have actually had that, which is odd. But moving on to the other side now. Of course, you can see some more of the details, just mirrored from the other side. And if you open the door, once again, you can get access to the passenger seat, which is very nice. Sadly, there's no detailing for the dashboards, no speedometers, no dashboard details, none of that. Except for, I believe there was some dashboard detail in there. No, I was wrong. There is no dashboard detail, actually. I thought for a second there was, but no, there isn't, sadly. Now, of course, the last play function that I do need to show here, because somehow I managed to forget it, is this giant knob up here. Now, of course, if you turn that, you will make the wheels turn. Of course. Now, as per usual with these cars, the steering wheel is not, in fact, connected to the main steering, which does suck, but, I mean, it is a very simple rack and pinion style steering mechanism. So, nothing really crazy to write home about there. So with that pretty much concludes the overview of the Corvette Stingray here. So we'll go ahead and get it on the turntable, and we'll get to my favorite segment, the lore dump. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright guys, and we are back. Of course, we have the car on the turntable here. And give this guy a little spinny spin. A little faster than that, please. Thank you. And let's get into the lore dump of the Corvette C7 here. or C8, according to my lore dump information over here. So let's start off with the in-game information on this car. I know, a little unusual, but since this is a video game tie-in, I think it's important that we include this in the review. So the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, at least in its stock setup, is in fact red, not yellow. So very interesting that they didn't choose the stock color here. It's a 5-star vehicle, and apparently in-game this is a C-Class vehicle, an epic type. It has 4 for the fuel, and it has a refill time of 1 hour or 115 hours. Okay, that's weird how they label that. And in-game, this was released during the 13th update, back in, or update 13-07-2020. Okay. And now for the overview of the car. And of course my computer crashes again, so give me 1 second. Alright guys, my apologies for that. I have no idea what happened, but my computer just decided to have an aneurysm. So, let's continue. The Chevrolet Corvette C8 is the 8th generation of the Corvette sports car series manufactured by American automobile manufacturer Chevrolet. It is the first mid-engine Corvette since the model's introduction in 1953. Okay. Differing from the traditional front-engine design. The C8 was announced in April of 2019, and the coupe made its debut on July 18, 2019 in Tustin, California. That's right here. The convertible made its debut in October 2019 during a media event at the Kennedy Space Center to coincide with the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission. The racing version, the Chevrolet Corvette C8.R, also made its debut in the same month. Production officially began on February 3rd of 2020, delayed by the 2019 General Motors strike. Okay, so now let's get into the overview. Now, of course, we already know the manufacturer is Chevrolet, or GM, General Motors. And this is also referred to as the GMSV Chevrolet Corvette in Australia. And it was manufactured from February 2020 up into the present day. The assembly takes place in Bowling Green, Kentucky at the Bowling Green Assembly Plant. And the designer for this vehicle was Tom Peters. Now, for the body and chassis, this is a sports car S-Class with a 2-door target top and/or a 2-door retractable hardtop convertible, depending on what the owner desires, of course, with a rear mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, rear mid-engine, 4-wheel drive E-Ray layout, and it is a General Motors Y2XX platform. Now, in terms of the powertrain, this sucker is running a 6.2-liter LT2 Crossplay OHV V8 engine. For the Stingray and the E-Ray. Now, of course, it can also run a 5.5-liter LT6 flat plane DOHC engine as well. Now, in terms of the powertrain here, once again, the engine is referred to once again here, but there is also an additional, let me check here. Let's see. Yeah, so 6.2-liter LT2 Crossplay OHV V8 for the Stingray and E-Ray models. Then, of course, the 5.5-liter LT6 flat-pane DHOC V8 for the Z06. And then this one wasn't mentioned here, the 5.5-liter LT7 twin-turbo flat-plane DHOC V8 for the ZR1. So there's plenty of versions of this car. Now, from what I have read, this one is the standard C8 model. None of those fancy ones. So I guess it's the LT2 crossplane OHV V8 for simplicity's sake. Now then, for the electric motor, it is a permanent magnet synchronous motor. And this is for the E-Ray version. Now, in terms of the power output, if we're talking strictly the Stingray, it is 490 by 495 HP, or 365 by 369, I think it's like kilowatts, 497 by 502 PS. So, yeah, this thing's got some power behind it. As it should! And of course, for the transmission, it is a Tremec TR9080 DCT 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. do with that as you will. So this thing's got some power behind it, obviously. Not as much as a Lambo, but still got some muscle. And of course, for the hybrid drivetrain, because this is a hybrid model, it is a through-the-road hybrid. Interesting. And then for the battery, we have a 1.9 kilowatt, 300 volt E-ray, or just 300 volt battery. And then in terms of dimensions here for the real car, the wheelbase is 107.2 inches. It has a length of 182.3, and its width is 76.1, and it has a height of 48.6. Now, in terms of the curb weight, it is 3,647 pounds. So, yeah. And of course, for the additional models of this car, or variations, it's 3,666 or 3,965. Doesn't matter which way you spin it. This thing is a little bit hefty, but still light enough to get where it needs to go, I suppose. So, following several experimental CERV prototype vehicles, the C8 is GM's first production rear mid-engine sports model since the Pontiac Fiero was discontinued. Features a vastly different design from previous Corvettes, with an all-new aluminum architecture and coil-over springs in place of leaf springs used on prior models. The exterior features more aggressive dynamics, including larger air intakes and prominent side scoops. A trunk is located in the rear, and it has additional storage space at the front of the car. So, combined, these provide 13 cubic feet of cargo space, 2 cubic feet less than that of the C7. So you're getting less out of the C8? Why? As a result of the switch to a mid-engine layout, the passenger cell has been shifted forward by 16.5 inches. The cockpit has been designed to be driver-centric, with numerous controls mounted on the center console, as well as utilizing a new hexagonal steering wheel. Ah, interesting. A 12-inch digital screen replaces the instrument cluster and reflects one of the 6 driving modes selected. It is accompanied by an 8-inch touchscreen. Well, yeah, what doesn't have a touchscreen nowadays, huh? A special Z button is located on the steering wheel, named in honor of earlier performance packages like the Z51, Z06, and ZR1, and allows the driver to quickly activate customized performance settings. Well, that's a whole lot of stuff, huh? So, yeah. Now in terms of trim levels and options. 3 trim levels are currently available for this model. The 1LT, 2LT, and 3LT, augmented by 3 suspension setups, FE1, FE3, and FE4, which correspond to the 2 Z51 performance packages. In addition, 3 seat options are also available, GT1, GT2, and Competition Sport. The interior is upholstered in leather, micro suede, or performance textile with carbon fiber or aluminum trims. A performance data recorder has been upgraded with a higher resolution camera as well as a new interface. General Motors' virtual camera mirror is optional, which provides video from the backup camera onto the rearview mirror. As it should, because what modern car, sports or otherwise, doesn't have some sort of camera system, so that way you don't drive your fancy new car into your garage door. But anyhow, the Stingray uses a new version of the LS-based GM small block engine derived from the C7 Stingray's LT1, now called the LT2. The new naturally aspirated 6.2-liter V8 is rated at 490 horsepower, at 6,450 RPMs, and 465 pounds per foot of torque at 5,150 RPM, an improvement of the 40 HP and 10 pounds per foot, right, over the outgoing C7 Corvette Stingray. So it definitely has more power, as it should. The engine uses a dry slump lubrication system. Like the C7, the C8 features active fuel management or cylinder deactivation, which is used when the car is subjected to low load scenarios such as highway cruising. The engine has 2 radiators, one on each side in the front. The Z51 package includes a 3rd radiator, a water-to-water and water-to-oil radiator on the rear driver's side, cooling both engine oil and transmission lubricant, taking air in through the rear quarter panel opening. I'm guessing that's a good thing. I don't see why it wouldn't be. The optional NPP Sport exhaust system brings the total power output to 495 horsepower and torque to 470 pounds per foot, and Chevrolet claims that the C8 can accelerate to 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour, in 2.9 seconds when equipped with the optional C51 package. Car and driver recorded an adjustment time of 2.8 seconds. So this thing's fast. Not Lambo fast, but oh boy, this thing gets going. Now in terms of the transmission. The Stingray is offered with an 8-speed dual-clutch automated transmission made by Technic, with padded shifters on the steering wheel. No manual transmission option is available. Well, that sucks, so no stick? Really? The only other model years not offered with a manual transmission were the 1953 through 1954 C1 and the 1982 C3. Dang. Now in terms of the suspension system. The base model of the Stingray comes equipped with unequal length double wishbone suspension at the front and rear axles made from forged aluminum. Monotube shock absorbers are standard on all 4 wheels. And the car can be equipped with a front axle lifting height adjustment suspension system that can add 2 inches of ground clearance at speeds under 25 kilometers per hour. Or miles per hour, 40 kilometers per hour. The Z51 package adds a performance-tuned adjustable suspension with higher front and rear spring rates and firmer dampeners. The front shocks on vehicles without hydraulic front lift, and the rear shocks have threaded spring seats that allow adjustments of the preload on the coil springs. Magnetic selective ride control is an available option for all trims and levels. On Z51 equipped Corvettes, magnetic selective drive control includes performance traction management and electric limited slip differential, ELSD. Now in terms of the technology for this car, it debuted with an 8-inch infotainment screen and a driver-centric cockpit. Comes standard with the Chevrolet's Infotainment 3 Plus system, as most modern cars do. Standard features include Bluetooth connectivity, 4G hotspots, and both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Higher trims are equipped with a 14-speaker Bose audio system, and navigation options. Additional technology features include a performance data recorder package for 2 LT and 3 LT trim levels, as well as a camera-based rear-view mirror. The 2020 Corvette was the first year Chevrolet introduced over-the-air updates to the Corvette lineup. This allows Chevrolet to send updates to the vehicle remotely. Chevrolet also uses this capability to resolve a front trunk recall for the 2020 Corvettes. Now for the right-hand drive. For the first time since the 1953 introduction of the Corvette C1, I can't speak, the current generation Corvette is offered in right-hand drive configuration for the Australian, New Zealand, Japanese, and United Kingdom markets. The Corvette Z8 is General Motors' only RHD vehicle to be assembled in the factory rather than to be converted from left-hand drive. After the pre-sale announcement, 300 RHD Corvettes were sold within 60 hours, a record for Corvette sales in Japan and 3 times the annual sales number for its LHD predecessor. The introduction of the RHD Corvette to the Australian market was delayed to the middle of 2021 due to the reorganization of Holden Special Vehicles into GMSV, General Motors Special Vehicles, which also brings GM vehicles into New Zealand. Only 200 RHD Corvettes will be sold in Australia per year, and the price is set at a whopping $149,990, with the higher performance versions above, $200,000. The first sales of the RHD C8 in New Zealand were 28 cars in 2022. So, yeah, the Corvette C8, what an absolute beast of a car. And, I mean, yeah, for a $200,000 car, apparently, I'd say it more than speaks for itself. I mean, look at the thing. You know what I mean? And not to mention with all the tech in this thing, too. Good grief. What an absolute powerhouse. So, with that, guys, I think that pretty much wraps it up for my review on the Lego Technic Chevrolet Corvette Stingray C8. So, if you guys did enjoy this one, please make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell so that way you guys get notified for all my uploads. Later, Reed Squad, and have a good one.